so many variety. I never actually had a specific sport, but now I've gone into track. But when I started, I was in football. I was doing everything. I remember in secondary school, I was doing volleyball, dodgeball, like so many things. I also partake in dancing, which is something I do regularly still. But then eventually I focused into track and 100 meters. I don't have a memory of when. I just remember growing up, like from primary school. I just remember being active. So I don't have an age for primary school. Definitely because of my upbringing and my culture. So I'm Nigerian, but I was born and raised here. But you know, as a black person, you have that rhythm in your blood already. But I grew up dancing, and I've always been encouraged to dance in primary school, secondary school. I even started GCSE dance to continue that passion. And now I regularly go to dance classes, workshops, blah blah blah. So it was definitely my culture and upbringing that inspired that. Yeah. It's a mixture of street, hip hop, and Afrobeats. I think street and hip hop was because of diversity, the dance group, um, and obviously various dancers like Kidda, The Great, Jabberwockies, like so many. You could name so many of them. Afrobeats, it wasn't anyone inspiring me. It was just more. I was interested in watching it, and I saw people doing it, and I guess I just wanted to try it, and then eventually develop a passion for it. Like I said, being black, you already have that speed. So um, it started in school. You know when they have like sports days, and then most primary classes they're like, "Oh, you're black. That means you can run fast, so you do it." So I guess I've always grown up being picked as the one to run. Um, and then like my parents could see that I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed running. It was like an escape for me, just you know. And I'm always out and about. Like I'm always moving. So channeling that energy into track was really good, and started from primary school sports days. And then in secondary school, I had one sport day where I ran against someone who did track competitively, and I wasn't there yet. And she came up to me and said, "You're really fast, like you're really good. Are you part of a club or anything?" And I said, "No, like I want to be a part of one." And then from there, she just directed me where to go and encouraged me and said, "Keep doing what you're doing. You're really fast. Don't let that go to waste." Usain Bolt, Dina Asher Smith. Who else? Who else? It's mainly them two. But literally anyone that's black and runs. Justin Gatlin as well, because I know he was top contender for Usain Bolt, like literally, so yeah. Um, this is a really dumb one, but in primary school, I remember it was football actually, so not track or dance, but it was football, and the person who was leading that group was actually what's the word, support worker. Like he was in the deaf center, and then he had been asked to train with the children. So obviously that was someone who I looked up to in terms of helping me and stuff. And he was very encouraging in all aspects. So we were playing football, and I struggled just to get the ball into the goal. So it's literally like, what am I doing? And then eventually I got the ball into the goal, and literally everyone around me and him were literally cheering me on. It was like, it was one of the happiest moments. Like it was like, oh, after going through all of that and struggling, finally getting the ball into the goal was a really nice memory. And then seeing someone who I already worked with being happy for me was a really nice memory, yeah. Um, as a black person, I don't have any issues. I mean, you know how the stereotype of like, oh, black people on sport, especially track, blah blah blah, short distance, whatever. So where I went to clubs, where I went to compete, I never had a problem being black because most of the people there were black anyways. But I did have the issue of as a deaf person, not in terms of train or anything, but when I went to competitions it was more, how am I going to hear the gun when I run? There weren't any accommodations, but because my coach was very close to me, she always, in advance, always spoke to the organisers and said, I have a deaf competitor in my team. Is there any way we can accommodate her? So the I can't remember the name, but the people who come and check you when you're at the start and then step off to say, yeah, it's all good. They would then also have the other job of having like a flag and standing right next to me. So they would make sure I was in the further lanes so that I'm close to the flag so that I could see it. So I would always have problems as a deaf person, but as a black person, no. I can hear, but there are times where I want to take my implants off. So when I go to dance classes, the speakers are loud. So when I take my implants off, I literally like when everyone else is practicing whatever, I just go up to the music and feel it and familiarize myself with the beat. And the instructor, he already knows that I'm deaf. So when he sees me breaking away from the group to feel the music, he already knows that I'm trying to familiarize myself with the music. Because I dance based off counts. So I don't necessarily listen to the music. Yeah, of course you familiarize yourself with the beats and stuff, but I also do counts. So I'm literally thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or I'll go over to the music and literally feel it. Because the speakers are so loud, you can feel the vibrations, and I don't necessarily dance by hearing the music. I dance by feeling the music. I would say don't give up because there were moments where I gave up because my passion wasn't strong enough for me to be like, actually, wait, I want to do this and I want to do it now. Instead, I just waited and let opportunity pass me by. So I would say, don't give up. Use your passion to drive you forward, and whatever you want in that moment in time, go for it.